Hey there, sister. Welcome to the Social Media for Mompreneurs podcast. I'm your host, Allison Scholes, and I am on a mission to help mompreneurs like you ditch the Instagram overwhelm and take control of your time on the app and build an extraordinary brand and business, but still be fully present with your family and just be crazy happy with your life. This show is filled with Instagram strategies, marketing hacks, branding and business tips with a side of coffee and Jesus. If you're ready for some juicy content, you know what to do. Hand your kiddos those tablets, open those juice boxes, grab your coffee, whiskey, or wine, and let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show and welcome back to another Quick Tip Tuesday. Now, I am going to warn you, it's such a beautiful day today that I could not put myself in the corner of my room where it's really quiet. I am sitting next to the slider with the window open, the sun shining, so you may hear some background noise. You might hear my dog Scout, and you might even hear the birds chirping. But it is what it is. I'm going to do me, and when it comes to podcasting, well, you know what? There are no rules. But let's get back to the Quick Tip Tuesday. I want to talk about different ways that you can be repurposing content. You know that I am a huge fan of repurposing content. I don't believe that you need to be creating new content month after month, week after week, and day after day. Heck no, that just takes up way too much energy, and then we won't be showing up in our most authentic way and with the most energy that we have if we spend way too much time creating content. And I know that there are such a plethora of ways to repurpose content, but today I want to share my favorite ways, and maybe some of these ways you haven't even thought of yet. And I also want to remind you, when it comes to repurposing content, you don't have to stick to just your Instagram post. All right, so let's dive in. Here is the first idea that I want to share with you. I do this as often as I can. I'm not the greatest at it, right? We can't be perfect in the way that we show up. It is all about just being consistent. And the more practice that we do, the more practice into showing up, that's how we make improvements. So here's the first one, your Instagram stories. What happens when we create a story? Normally we put it in our stories. It disappears after 24 hours and we kind of forget about it. We don't even bother really looking at our Instagram story analytics. But I want to remind you that if you are putting really great content in your Instagram stories, if you are showing your face and using your voice and you're being inspirational or you're being educational, that is really great content that you should be repurposing. So when you have an Instagram story and it is under a minute and you think it would be incredibly valuable for your audience and for an audience that you would like to attract, I would take that Instagram story, I would download it to your phone and repurpose it as a TikTok video or an Instagram Reels. Now, I do this all the time. I will film an Instagram stories, put the captions on there, put it in stories, download it to my phone, and I will repurpose it a few days or a week later in my Instagram Reels and on TikTok. Now, what you can also do with that video, your Instagram story video, you can also repurpose it as a Pinterest story idea. I have actually had people come to me on Instagram saying that they found me on Pinterest because they watched my video through Pinterest. Now, this is an excellent way to expand your visibility and a great way to build the authority and trust that you are looking for. So that's number one, is get into your stories and start recording video that shows your face and it records your voice. Put the caption on there, right? You can go in your Instagram stories, the little options, and click captions, and it automatically generates the captions for you. That is the easiest way to not only create content, but to repurpose it as well. So if you're going to do anything today, I hope you start doing that. Now, a second idea for you is Instagram carousels. You take so much time to create those Instagram carousels and you put them in your news feed. Well, why wouldn't we repurpose it as an Instagram reel or a Pinterest story. And you're probably like, Allison, how would I do that? So your Instagram carousels is most likely just filled with some great value. You're either teaching your audience how to do something or you're sharing some steps. Whatever it is, it's valuable. And most of the time, carousels perform really well on Instagram. Most likely, you've created that Instagram carousel right in Canva. So all you have to do is resize your carousel for Reels, which is a 1080 by 1920. Or you can resize it for a Pinterest story, 1000 by 1500. All you have to do is now take those individual images that have been resized for Reels or story, upload it into your Reels, and you can add background music. So now you've taken your Instagram carousel and you've repurposed it as a Reel video with background music. You don't even have to add background music in a Pinterest story. You're just going to add it like almost like an Instagram story where you have your individual clips. Pinterest story is very similar. You're going to upload the Instagram carousel clips as a story for Pinterest. You just have to make sure that you resize it. So again, if you're going to take your Instagram carousel and repurpose it as an Instagram reel, just make sure you resize it to the 1080 by 1920. And then for a Pinterest story, resize it for 1000 by 1500. All right, here's the next tip. Most likely at some point on Instagram, you have created long form content posts. These are your Instagram posts that you typed out a lot in your caption. You have a hook, maybe you have, a step-by-step process, or you've gone in depth with something and then you have a really great call to action. I highly recommend that you take those long form content posts and repurpose them either as a blog post on your website, which is great because now you have more SEO for your website. You can repurpose that post as an email campaign or as an assortment of quotes that point back to the blog post on your website. I hear over and over, Allison, I'm having such a hard time getting consistent with email campaigns. I'm not sending an email to my list every week because I can't come up with ideas. So go back and look at your Instagram post. Do you have any long form content posts that performed really well? Again, we're looking for posts that is very inspiring, very educational for your audience, really dives deep into value. Repurpose it as an email campaign. Hey, just a quick reminder that the Insta Accelerator Academy is now open. If you're sick of jumping from coach to coach and course to course to not only build your business but explode on Instagram, then this membership academy is the answer. Not only do you have access to a ton of Instagram and business building bundles, which you can do at your own pace, you'll also have access to monthly coaching calls with me and a private community of other entrepreneurs who have your back. If you're ready to take back control of your time spent on Instagram and grow your brand and business with ease and confidence, and finally show up on social the way you were always designed to do by the grace of God, then head to BossLadyInSweatpants.com and join the Academy. No need to dump thousands of dollars into masterminds and high-ticket coaches. Get the clarity and confidence you need that costs less than your monthly manicure. I'll see you inside the Insta Accelerator Academy. Okay, I have two more for you. Anytime you do Instagram story polls or Q&As and we get like the results back, people vote on things or they answer your questions and then that information just kind of stays in your brain. I highly recommend that you repurpose the results or the answers that you get. Make it into an Instagram live or a Facebook live. Create a YouTube video. Make a reel or write a blog post. Or you can even write an email campaign based on the results. So make sure that you're repurposing the story poll results and the answers to your Q&As. And then finally, this is probably one of my favorite ones that I'm really good about doing is my Instagram Reels. Yes, not only should you take your Reels and share them to your stories because it helps your views, but you should also make sure that once you've posted your Reel, save that Reel to your camera phone and upload it as a TikTok video and get in stories and upload it as a Pinterest pin idea. Again, people have been coming from Pinterest, finding me on Instagram because that's what I'm doing. I am taking my Instagram reels and I'm repurposing them as Pinterest pin ideas. Such an easy way because you've already done the work. Now you just need to upload it to Pinterest pins and TikTok. And what's the greatest thing about TikTok is you don't even need a long caption, right? You barely even have to write anything. So you're just taking a couple extra steps. That way you are just having a brand presence on all these other platforms. And I want to make sure that I touch on this. A lot of people might be thinking like, oh my gosh, Allison, I barely have my feet wet with Instagram and now you want me on all these platforms. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you have to nail down TikTok and Pinterest and Facebook. All I'm saying is you can take the content that you have, your core content that you have on Instagram, and you can spread it out on other platforms. That way you have a brand presence. It doesn't mean that you need to know TikTok or LinkedIn or Facebook on the back of your hand, but at least you're building a presence on other platforms. Because again, Instagram can disappear tomorrow. So in my view, I would at least not only have my own long form content, which is my website and my podcast, but I want to have at least a presence on all the other platforms. Just in case if one platform dies tomorrow, I have another platform that I can jump on and start utilizing. And then if you're kind of stuck like, okay, I don't know what I should start repurposing, like where do I start? Use your Instagram insights to view your best performing posts, your best performing reels, and even your stories to determine the content to repurpose. Now, I'll leave you with this verse. Proverbs 10, verse 4. Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. Be intentional in everything you do, including what you create online. Take pride and ownership on what you do and what you create because you are meant to inspire and impact others. Stay sassy, sparkle, and wear sweatpants. I can't thank you enough for listening today and supporting this show. The best way to support me and grow the podcast is by leaving a written review on Apple iTunes. I promise you, I read every review and take them to heart. And don't forget, head to bossladyinsweatpants.com to grab all my freebies or hang out with me on Instagram at Allison Scholes. I'll see you soon.